So do you have a corporate social responsibility program in your business? CSR, all businesses these days seem to have a great CSR program, and they want to integrate some sort of giving back to people or the environment into their everyday business. That's what we're going to be talking about during this interview, and I'm going to be talking to a real expert on this topic, Masami Sato, and that's coming right up. So we're on the topic of CSR, and there is no better person to talk to than my good friend, Masami Sato. And who is Masami Sato? Masami started a giving-related business a number of years ago, and it's called B1G1, which stands for Buy One, Give One. So Masami, tell us, what is Buy One, Give One, and why would it be of interest to business owners and entrepreneurs?
So the world of B1G1, Buy One, Give One, is very simple. So if you just imagine every time you have, let's say, a cup of coffee, a child receives access to life-saving water, or every time you get inspired by reading a book, a tree gets planted, or every time you go to a dentist, somebody receives access to healthcare. So the world of B1G1 connects businesses with a desire to give and with the worthy causes around the world, so that every time business is done, something great can also happen in the world. And B1G1 is today a movement of businesses that are doing this way of giving and making giving part of what they do and transforming the world together. So more than 3,000 businesses have worked with us so far, and they have created over 230 million giving impacts to date. So that's B1G1 in a nutshell.
That's amazing, isn't it? I think so many business owners and individuals kind of strive over the years to think of a way, how can I give back? And they give to various charities. But I just love the way that you've structured this, where businesses can integrate this giving into everyday business, and you make it so easy because it's all done on an online portal. I came across B1G1 about 12 years ago now at an event, and I just loved it straight away. I had to join. I thought, this is what we've been looking for. Your chairman, Paul Dunn, always laughs at me. He said, because about 3 hours after I joined the program, I made my first giving. I was just so excited about it all. But I think it's a wonderful way to allow businesses to really act on that and get some traction into their CSR programs. Fantastic.
Yeah, and I'm just quite curious about business people like you too, because when we started to B1G1, we thought that this is an initiative to help businesses give away their hard-earned money rather than helping businesses make more money, because that type of services, we can imagine that there is a high demand for that. If businesses can make more money by doing something, then people will pay and then become a customer for those businesses. But what amazed us was that there are businesses out there who resonate with idea like this. So Rob, for you, why did you join B1G1 actually in the first place?
Yeah, look, it was a very personal thing. And like I said, I was attending a conference in Melbourne, Australia, I think about 12 years ago. I heard the story about how you established the organization and the work that it did. And I suppose my wife and I had been searching for something in a couple of years prior to that. We wanted to try and give back. We wanted to have, a little bit of an impact in our own small way. And we tried to find sort of charities that resonated with us that we could give to. And then suddenly we were presented with Buy One, Give One, and the opportunity to just pick and choose so many hundreds of different charities, very worthy causes, all around the world. And, literally online, the click of a button, we could give to a whole range of different projects. And the thing that I really loved about it, which I think a lot of people kind of worry about with charitable giving, is that there was kind of no overhead contribution. And, we often wonder when we give to charities in the street, how much of that really goes to the people in need, or how much of that is going to actually planting trees, and how much goes in marketing and overheads. And I think that was the thing that really got me over the line with Buy One, Give One. There is no overhead. Every cent that you give actually goes to those in need. Buy One, G1 doesn't take a cut. the worthy cause that you're contributing to isn't allowed to take any of the donation for overheads. It's all got to go, directly to those in need. And it was just perfect timing for us. We were just looking for something to I guess, enable that giving, and it took away the that difficulty of trying to decide what programs to give to, because suddenly we had access to hundreds of them. So I have to thank you very much for starting the whole thing and showing it to us.
But when you started to give through B1J1, how, what kind of impact did you experience, or what kind of reactions did you see?
Yeah, it was really interesting. And I mean, it's not the reason that business owners give. You don't give just to try and impress your market or impress your clients. That's really not what it's about. I think it's got to come from your core values and your heart, if you like. And it's just such a fantastic thing to do. So there weren't any expectations on what the reaction might be externally, and we don't kind of overly promote what we do, because it's somewhat, I don't know, not embarrassing. What would the term be? It's, I think to a degree, it's a very private thing, charity giving and giving to worthy causes. And it's not something you really want to scream from the rooftops. So we didn't expect to get much of a reaction from the market. But what was really interesting was the reaction internally. And, our staff right across 2 or 3 businesses really loved the idea of the program. And we would get staff helping to select the worthy causes that we were going to contribute to. And people really got engaged behind it all. And what we actually do in the business is basically every time we make a sale, a proportion of that income goes to one of the worthy causes. And it's really fun. So, the accounts department tell me all of the invoices that are due to be sent out to clients. And I personally go through and select worthy causes that I think will resonate with our clients. And it's fantastic, to be able to send the invoice and say, and thank you for working with us. And on your behalf, we've given water to 10,000 people, or we've, fed 500 orphans or whatever. One of the things that kind of surprised me, but I didn't have any expectations, was initially I was expecting people to sort of go, oh, wow, this is really cool. We love what you're doing. And there was nothing. It was like you could hear a pin drop. And I thought we might have got some feedback. But we very rarely get direct feedback. And as I mentioned earlier, that's not why you do it. You're not looking for some sort of credit or, to get a big face, as they would say in Asia. You're doing it because it's a good thing to do. But to get no reaction, I just thought was really interesting. And I think what happened is that people weren't quite sure how to react. What, you've just done this? How do I respond to that? What's really interesting, though, is when I'm talking to clients face to face, and quite a lot over the years have sort of just thrown into a conversation. Oh, and by the way, we love what you do with that giving program. And it's that sort of one-on-one feedback, which is really rewarding, and it's nice that people notice what you're doing. So yeah, it's given our whole business a lift, in energy and purpose. So it's been really terrific.
That's cool. That's cool. And, for most business owners, I think the challenge is that they think like they would do something one day when they become really successful. Like, we will start a foundation one day, maybe when we become really successful.
That's where we were, we want to start.
Oh, you thought about
Thailand.
that?
We want to do this, yeah. And you never do, because you never build up, enough capital to be able to do it. And so you don't get started, but this program means that you can start with $1, and very small amounts. So it's absolutely tremendous.
And I'm very curious, because you've been giving consistently over for long time, like 12 years now. So giving is something that is not like required for business to do. Like, it's something that you do because I think that you believe in it. But the thing is, when we try to do something good for us, quite often like changing a habit or changing pattern is very difficult. So people might find it difficult to like maintain long-term activities of something that's good. but not mandatory or necessary.
Yeah.
So in your perspective, what would be the key to creating real like long-term impact?
Yeah, look, I think we can talk about, I guess, engaging, everybody in the business in it and so on. But ultimately, it comes down to the business owner wanting to do it and driving it. And I think the opportunity that you give business owners is to make it habitual. So, if it's something I've got to remember to do and, we must give to that charity and do that charity, it becomes very maybe infrequent and not habitual. I think the way that you show business owners in how to use the program best is marvelous, because you link it to everyday activities in your business, and therefore it just becomes a part of your everyday business. So you don't have to think about it. Accounts now know, at the end of every month, they send me a list of all of the invoices that are going out to clients. We have an online spreadsheet, and I go down and I put which charities we're going to support, how much is going to go to each one. Someone else in the business puts together gratitude certificates that go out to the clients with their invoices. So it's just become part of our business process. So we don't even have to think about it. And I have to say, when I get that email from accounts every month, these are the invoices going out, it's the best part of the month because I get to sit there and spend an hour, deciding what worthy causes that we're going to support this month. And I actually found that quite difficult in the early stages, because there are so many great worthy causes to support, and you felt like, oh, gee, is this more deserving than that one? But over time, I think we learned not to overthink it. That, as long as we're giving every month and we're spreading that giving, across a whole range of initiatives, then, we're doing some good. So the key for me is just making it a habit, and who wouldn't want a habit of giving to, to people, the environment, and all sorts of causes.
And I should have done this before, we arranged this call to just go and then take a look at your B1G1 impacts. But I believe that over the last 12 years, you've created so many impacts. So you are one of those businesses that we actually think is a kind of model B1G1 business, because you not only give regularly, but you sustained that regularity over such a long period of time. So as I remember correctly, you have already created like over 7 million giving impacts, or am I right?
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah. So this shows like how one business can create massive impacts in the world by doing something long term. So as a final question from me to you, what would you say to other businesses who may be like contemplating how they might do something meaningful in the world? What word do you give to them?
I would say, and look, this was not supposed to be a promotion for B1G1. I don't want it to sound like that, but if you're looking for a way to genuinely give back and to maximize the impact of your giving, I can't think of a better program, to be honest, because it has all the components of what you want, what you need. You've got a whole range of different projects to give to. There's going to be something in there that really resonates with you. The difficulty is there are so many. There are worthy causes you can support to suit all kinds of budgets. For $1, you can give water to a whole bunch of people in Africa or Cambodia. Those are ones that we support. I think it's for $70 you can pay for someone to have cataract surgery. If you want to give $5,000, you can build someone a house. So you can kind of tailor your giving to the sort of budget that you've got. And I love the way that you break down the giving into little bite-sized chunks. It's like that saying of the story of the guy walking along the beach throwing starfish into the ocean. And have you heard that story? And a guy comes up to him and says, "What are you doing?" He says, "Oh, they're going to dry out in the sun. They're all going to die. I want to throw them back in the water." And the guy says, "But there are thousands. Now, how can you save them all?" And he says, "I can't." And he throws another one. He said, "But I've saved that one and that one." And I think that's what the small giving is about. And like you said, we've reached something like, I don't know, 7 point something million giving impacts. When we started, you had 200, and then you reached 1,000, and you thought, wow, that's great. And then we reached 1 million, and that was great. And it's a wonderful way to, I guess, get a feedback loop, or a KPI or a measurement on how you're going. And a lot of people say to me, what exactly is a giving impact? Well, a giving impact it's a simple part of the giving, broken down into its smallest components. So a giving impact could be giving water to a person for a day. It could be paying for a brick to build a school. It could be providing, a notebook and pencil for a kid in Nepal. Or one I used to love was guinea pigs in Peru, was it? We're not doing that one anymore. You could give a guinea pig to a family in Peru, and they'd breed them and eat them. So, I think the key for me is that you've managed to break it down into those tiny little components. So it's just so easy to do, and it breaks down that barrier of, how much have we got to accumulate before we can actually give something? Well, give $1 and you can start. So, no, I think it's wonderfully structured. So I have to thank you for doing it so many years ago, and for engaging so many businesses and giving them the opportunity.
I have to thank you for what you do, and also being such a great example of B1G1 businesses around the world. So thank you, Rob.
So look, the whole purpose of this was for me to talk to you about why you started B1G1. You ended up turning the tables on me, but there might be people watching this video who are wondering, well, that sounds really good. How do we get involved in that? Can we put a link down below the video or something? And maybe if people want to find out more about the program, how about we put a link to B1G1 so people can jump on there and have a look. And if you're wondering about how businesses kind of integrate it into their business, I'll put a link to one of our pages, which shows exactly how we do it too. So you can see that's how a business uses it. And if you want to hear more, you can talk to B1G1.
Thank you.
No, it's great talking to you, Masami. And hopefully we'll get together face-to-face sometime on maybe on one of the study tours where we actually get to go and visit a lot of the worthy causes. That could be the topic of a whole other video. Appreciate your time.
That's right. Thank you so much, Rob, and all the best with what you do. We love what you are doing.
Thanks. Bye.